Today I'm going to be telling you 5 ways you can tell a guy's into you and not just as a friend. For those of you who don't know, my name is Haeppy, H-A-E-P-P-Y. On the Instagram live streams that I do, something that comes up quite often are questions about how someone can know if a guy likes them, or how to get a guy or get a guy's attention. Well, you can't. The way that men work, if there's any level of attraction, then it's pretty much a green light. But that's not the issue here, is it? Maybe there are some men around you that you think are your friends who are really just guys who think they're in the friend zone. Or there is a guy that you're interested in and you're trying to figure out whether or not there's any kind of chance there for you. I'm more concerned about educating you guys on certain behaviors or certain things that guys will do or show to clue you in that they're into you. Disclaimer, this is a sponsored video by Vienna Coffee House, which is why I'm in a Vienna Coffee House. I've been told I can order anything on the menu and it'll be free. So instead of numbering my points, I'm gonna be using menu item names to represent them. How creative! Let's begin. This is an Einspanner, or Einspanner. It's basically a coffee with a thick layer of cream on top, and then I'm guessing some cinnamon powder. Now, for those of you longtime fans, you know that I'm not much of a coffee drinker, but hey, we're in a coffee house, this is a sponsored video. Cheers. Yep. I'm not much of a coffee guy, but the cream does help. You catch a guy looking at you. Now, people can accidentally look at people all the time, and of course friends are probably going to be looking at each other. That's not what I'm saying, okay? The reason why people say eye contact is such a big thing is because if you're at a club or if you're walking down the street and you catch someone's eye, it means that they were looking at you at the same time. But let's push that aside. If you catch a guy looking at you and it's multiple times, anywhere other than your secondary sexual organs, maybe your hair, somewhere around your face, like your lips, even your ears. I mean, if you catch a guy looking at your ears, it might be a little bit weird, but what I'm trying to say is men are very visual creatures. The very first requirement for a guy to be into you is that he's physically attracted to you. There's no going around that. A man is not going to be into a woman that he's not physically attracted to. Now, am I saying that men are only into hot women? No. You just have to be attractive to that particular man. And for some of you that might not be used to being identified as beautiful or being called beautiful, it might be something hard to believe. But the thing is, you are beautiful. Now, I don't mean to sound like I'm pandering. I'm not saying that everybody is beautiful as in everybody is a celebrity or everybody is a model. I don't like people that make the claim that everybody is beautiful in that way because it's just not true. You don't need to be beautiful to everyone in the world. All you need to be beautiful to is the person that matters. The person that matters will find you beautiful. And if they think you're beautiful, they won't be able to keep their eyes off you. Next up, Leche Melange, or Leche Melange in Korean. This is definitely something way up more my alley. Look at all that whipped cream with the chocolate. There's a wafer, although I'm not really into wafers. And at the bottom over here is a layer of condensed milk, which I'm pretty sure they were supposed to mix together, but I guess if he's touchy in any way. Now, we're not talking about creepy here. Nobody likes a creepy guy. Even something as innocent as giving you a high five. If he's not the type of guy to be giving high fives to everybody and he gives you high fives, that's an excuse to touch you. Now, obviously, you're not supposed to think that every guy that gives you a high five is now suddenly into you. That's not my point. My point is, any sort of physical touch combined with everything else that I'm going to be talking about in this video is definitely a sign that he's into you. What are some obvious places that if he touches you, he's probably into you and may also be construed as kind of creepy? Your lower back. It's very intimate anywhere on your leg because that is extremely inappropriate to do in pretty much any context other than flirting. Some places that aren't as obvious would probably be things like the back of your upper arm, anywhere kind of around your wrist or hand area, because there are excuses or reasons to be touching you in those areas. For example, if they're trying to move you in a certain direction or pull you away from danger or whatever. If it happens a lot, then they're trying to touch you. Even touching your upper back in order to slightly move you in a certain direction, that is a point of physical connection. And a lot of times a guy that's not into you will not touch you, just because it can so easily be misconstrued. And if he refuses to touch you, then he is definitely not into you. It also goes without saying that if you're not interested in a guy, you should avoid physical contact like the plague. This is the apple mango Julmaccino. It's basically a fancy name for an apple mango smoothie. I wonder what the difference would be between an actual just a mango flavor and an apple mango flavor. Compliments. Unless you're Canadian, most people don't really compliment each other, even as friends. But if a guy compliments you, he's into you. Now, there are different ways that men compliment. Obviously, the first is if they give any sort of physical compliment. So if they are like, oh, you're so hot, or you're beautiful, or you're so cute, obviously it's a sign they're attracted to you. All they're doing is telling you that they're physically attracted to you. You can take that in a good or a bad way. Now, if they compliment you on a very specific part of you, eyes, your lips, a hairstyle of yours, some type of thing that you're wearing, they've noticed those details about you. Now we're getting to the second type of compliment, which is a compliment on things that are other than your physical features. Either your personality or your intelligence or some sort of skill that you might have. This is very dangerous territory. As humans, we make a lot of judgments based on someone's appearance. It's what we do. If they're going out of their way to compliment you on something other than visual, they're trying to impress you, or they're trying to communicate that they see past your appearance. The problem with this is the fact that they're doing it on purpose. So you're not really sure if they're just trying to manipulate you into seeing them as that kind of person, or if they really do see that in you. I'm very cynical, maybe a little bit jaded, who knows? There are real dangers and certain levels of manipulation behind the way that people show their interest. And this is one of them. Let's go back onto the bright side. If someone is complimenting you in any way, take it graciously. More often than not, if they do compliment you on something other than your physical appearance, they are trying to communicate that they see you as a human being and they're very interested in you in that way. Apple Black Currant Tea Aid. I don't really know how I feel about this drink. It kind of tastes like a Jolly Rancher. Time. If you message him and he replies quickly, he's giving you time. If he always seems to be free for you, he's making time. And here's the thing, I don't really think this point is exclusive to just relationships between men and women. If someone is busy, or they say that they're busy and too busy to reply to you or to look at your texts or whatever, chances are they're really not that into you, even as a friend. I know there are some people who say that they're really bad texters or whatever, but I don't buy that. I just think that they haven't prioritized you because they prioritize themselves. And you know what? That's completely fine. But that's no way to cultivate any sort of interpersonal relationship. Some of you are gonna get very angry at the point I just made, but I'm sticking to my guns. If a guy is into a girl, unless the plan that he's already made is work related, in which case he can't cancel, or any kind of uncancelable event, he will ditch that plan to be with this woman. Guys like to say bros before hoes, but it's never the case because the right hoe will always take precedence over the bros. The point I'm trying to make here also is that if that's not the case, if he does uphold his bros before hoes code with you, then you're not the right hoe. So you should probably move on. Or you should probably not give this guy the time of your day, because that means he's not prioritizing you over his bros. Why would you want to be with someone who doesn't prioritize you, right? Boys, if you agree with me, please leave it in the comments, or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a beta male and I just make myself too available for women, which is why nobody likes me. I am very excited for this one. This is the Bailey's Latte. And yes, Vienna Coffee House does offer alcoholic coffee beverages. He offers to help you with pretty much anything. What is the difference between this point and the Apple Black Currant Tea Aid point, right? It's kind of time, right? No, he's not just giving you his time. He's giving you his effort and he's giving you his expertise. This is even more the case if he usually gets paid for that. Let's take me for an example. I'm not going to be offering to help make videos for you or help you with your social media, because that's what I do, that's my job, if I'm not into you. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of dedication, and it's work. If a guy is an accountant, for example, he might want to offer to help look into your, I don't know, tax report or whatever. Oh, friends help each other with things like that. Yes, but no, most people are not going to give their time and help you on things that they do for work. And that's a generalization I can make. It's actually a very classic sign that a guy thinks he's in the friend zone and he can work his way out of it by volunteering his time and effort to help you. And this is also something that's very important for you to understand. If you are not interested in a man in that way, you kind of have to reject any sort of offer of help, because accepting the help might not mean that you're into them, declining the offer is a strong sign that you're not interested in that way. I'm looking at the monitor right now, and it seems that the sun is setting in a way that's casting this weird shadow on my face. It's almost like the sun is telling me to wrap this up. So I'm gonna change the locations because I don't want that ugly shadow on my face with like the mic and the camera for the ending of this video. It's not very professional, is it? Remember, these are generalizations, and you're gonna want to look for more than one of these points to really figure out if a guy's into you as something other than friends. Now, the point here is though, that if, like I said in the beginning, someone isn't exhibiting any of these, or maybe only one of these, they're probably not into you in that way yet. But if someone is exhibiting 3 or more of these points, it's highly unlikely that they're not into you in that way. And then it is up to you what you want to do with that information, especially if this person has been in your life for a very long time and he is just a friend. You don't want to kind of ruin this relationship. But here's the thing, do you really want to be friends with a guy who's just waiting to get in your pants, or who thinks he's like the nice guy that never gets the girl, or that he's in the friend zone? Because technically then you're not really friends. Ladies, have you seen any of these menu items in somebody in your life that ended up being a guy that was into you? Am I way off base? Please leave it in the comments. Like, leave all like the menu items that apply to, for example, a guy that you thought was just a friend but who was actually into you and they exhibited these things. And men, am I right? Are these kinds of different ways that you would show a girl that you're into them? I don't want to just be spouting off generalizations that aren't true, right? Well, I'm a man, so these things are true to me. And a lot of my friends that are men, they do this as well. So I kind of want to know, is it just me and my group of friends? Or do men in general do these kinds of things in order to show that they're into a woman? And that's another happy ending.